How's it going, everybody? And welcome to Just Nobody's Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan.
And I'm your host, Daniel.
And today we're doing a podcast.
Woo!
If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's the one that says subscribe. It's like red. I don't know if it's always red, but you tap it, you'll be able to see our videos more often. And also hit the like button with a thumb going up. If you hit it, there's fireworks, happiness, joy, love. Everything will be better in your life, so smash it. Smash it hard and smash it good.
Do it!
Also, comment what you guys want us to talk about next week. As you guys can see throughout this video, we took your guys' suggestions from last week, and we're talking about it this week. So let's get into the podcast, and let's just do it.
All right, I think we're going to dive right in to some verses. But we're changing it up, okay?
Okay.
I thought we would do Would You Rathers instead of verses.
Okay.
So the first one, would you rather be an extra in an Oscar-winning movie
Okay.
or the lead in a box office bomb?
An extra, which you probably won't get anything out of.
Right.
You bomb in a movie, you might get it might become memeable. You might get more opportunities. I would go with the lead actor.
Really?
Well, yeah. You get paid more too.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Extra, what are you going to get? Like $100?
You get to say you're in a movie that won an Oscar.
I doubt you get an Oscar.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Would you rather communicate only with emojis or never be able to text ever again?
I'd rather communicate with emojis or never be able to text again. So when I would talk to people, I couldn't talk to them. I'd just be communicating with emojis.
Yeah.
What? That's stupid. I'd rather never be able to text again. Right? Just
like when you're texting people, you could only communicate in emojis.
Okay. Oh, when you're texting only.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you'll be able to never text again. Never text again.
What?
People are gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" Like when you have.
At least you can give some form of like. I don't know.
I don't know. It's like, say someone asks you a serious question, like, "Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm about to die," and you're just like, sending emojis like you're like.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I guess you'd rather just not text at all and just call them at
Yeah.
that point. All right, would you rather always have BO and not know it or always smell other people's BO times 1,000?
I'd rather have BO and not know.
What?
You're telling me you'd rather suffer through someone's BO as it is,
Yeah.
and then you multiply that smell as bad as it is already by 1,000? You'd rather have that?
I mean, but then people are just going to think you smell all the time.
Yeah, but
And you have no idea. You're just walking around and you smell really bad.
I don't know. I just, for my selfish reasons, I would hate. I just feel like that's torture. You're gonna be 1,000 times.
It's bad, but it's like I'd rather have someone else smell than me smell.
Well, yeah. You don't want to have to be smelling it all the time.
I guess.
Times 1,000.
Comment what you guys think. I don't even know. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I'm crazy, but I definitely would not want to be smelling someone's BO times 1,000. I mean, times 3 is a lot.
That is true. Okay. Would you rather spend a week in the forest? Okay. A week in the forest by yourself.
Okay.
Or a night in a real haunted house.
I would rather be.
But it's a week in the forest.
A week in the forest.
By yourself.
Or one night in a haunted house.
Yeah.
I feel like more can go wrong in the haunted house.
I wonder.
Well, have you ever seen a haunted house where it was like all fun?
No. But there's haunted houses where it's like not harmful.
But you're not guaranteeing that. I mean,
You're not guaranteeing that.
I feel like
that's the same thing for the forest.
well, 90% of haunted houses that I've seen in movies are all bad.
Okay.
Now, there's some really happy movies in the forest.
That's true. But they all tend to go wrong.
Well, I'd rather take my chances.
Go to the haunted house?
No,
Or
I'd
you go to the forest. You go to the forest. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay. Okay. Would you rather have a pause button on your life or a rewind button?
Pause button or a rewind button? Probably rewind button.
Yeah, I feel like that. What's a pause button gonna do for you?
Someone's about to punch you, you just pause.
Like click.
Rewind, you can experience a bunch of outcomes and just keep rewinding to retry it.
Yeah, I feel like rewind's the way to go.
Rewind's 1,000 times better.
Would you rather get a paper cut every time you turn a page or bite your tongue every time you eat?
Well, this is how I look at it.
Okay,
We need to eat every day. You don't really need to read a book every day.
that's true.
So if I just don't read anymore, I just won't cut my fingers with the paper. But if I had to do that with the eating situation, every day I eat, I'd be biting my tongue.
Yeah.
So I would definitely go with every time I turn a page, cut my finger,
Yeah.
because I'll just avoid books.
Who likes reading? Not me.
Okay.
All right. Would you rather be in a zombie apocalypse or a robot apocalypse?
Zombie apocalypse or robot apocalypse? I feel like zombies are not as smart as robots.
Yeah, I'd definitely rather be in The Walking Dead rather than a bunch of like iRobot robots coming for me.
I agree. I think, yeah, the way to go is I'd rather be fighting zombies.
Yeah. Easier to kill.
Yeah.
Okay. The last one. Would you rather run at 100 miles per hour or be able to fly at 20 miles per hour?
Ooh, that's tough. I guess I would rather be able to. Flying is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, okay, think about this. If you're running at 100 miles per hour, you're still going to have to like get around things.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? You can't just run straight away somewhere.
Right.
Flying, at least you can go over everything. But you're still flying at 20 miles per hour. But that's still pretty fast.
Yeah. I think I'd rather be able to fly.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Comment what you guys think.
I don't know.
mean,
That's
I
a
feel
tough
like a
one.
lot of people would want to run. But I feel like flying is more, like, you could use it a lot more.
Yeah. But you can argue that it just depends on what you're doing it for. Like for me, I would just like enjoy to fly.
Yeah.
But if you want to like be able to get money, like get goods, you could run really fast.
Oh, so you're thinking of like breaking the law.
Well, if you had it,
Yeah.
I'm just saying a lot of people, if someone had it,
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of crime that would be done. Right?
Yeah. 100%.
I'm not saying you should do that if you had 100 mile per hour speed. But I'm just saying it could be used in the wrong ways.
Thank you for watching Versus Would You Rather Edition.
That was interesting.
Yeah. But now we're jumping into 2-sentence horror stories. And if you don't know what this is, it's a story written in 2 sentences, and you have to really think about this one to figure out the meaning.
They're all written by psychos.
Yes, they are. So the first one. Dangling on the side of the cliff, I looked at my brother one last time, knowing our mom would choose him. With an eerie smile, she just let go of both of us.
Oh my gosh.
It gives me the chills just thinking about that.
What a mom.
Okay, as silly as it may seem, Edward Scissorhands terrified me as a kid, and I've always had nightmares about him ever since I was 12. So you can imagine my confusion when I had a nightmare about him, but he had no hair and he was much more heavily scarred. You get it?
No.
Really? This one you really have to think about.
Go ahead.
Okay? As silly as it may seem, Edward Scissorhands terrified me as a kid. I always had nightmares about him ever since I was 12. So you can imagine my confusion when I had a nightmare about him where he had no hair, but he was heavily more scarred.
I don't get it. Is this like going to make me look stupid? I don't.
No. This one, actually, you have to think about it. Okay, so
Okay.
Edward Scissorhands, right?
Yeah.
He has scissors as his hands,
Right.
right? Now, if you take away his hair,
Okay.
who else has blades on his hands and is bald?
Oh, Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That one was. I was like, what?
Okay, that one was a little hard. Okay, we went to a psychic just for fun, and he told us our mother was frantically trying to warn us of something. We laughed it off because our mother was there with us, but I do have to admit, she's been very odd since she flatlined during her operation last month.
So she's alive but dead.
Well, maybe she's alive and something else is in her.
Oh.
Because she died during her operation, but then she was brought back.
Crazy.
Okay. On his deathbed, my husband got this terrible look in his eye and said, "If you see me again, run." I missed him so much that I didn't remember his last words until it was too late.
So she didn't run.
She didn't run.
He said, embrace.
Okay. My child said, "But Daddy said he was going to pick me up from school today." I protested, climbing into the car. "No, this will be our little secret, okay, honey?" said Mommy, and I noticed her suitcase was on the seat next.
Ooh.
So that kid is going with the mommy somewhere.
Somewhere
Not good.
not good. Or maybe somewhere very beautiful.
Maybe. Okay, the last one. As I was hiding in the closet, I realized I was breathing too loud, so I held my breath. But after holding my breath, I felt someone else's breath breathing near me. So someone's in the closet with you.
Yeah. Someone just taking up space.
And thank you for watching 2-Sentence Horror Stories.
Very good. 2-sentence horror stories written by psychos.
But we're jumping in to Dumb Ways to Die. I haven't done this in a
Oh my
while.
gosh.
So welcome
Dumb
back
Ways
to Dumb Ways to Die, where we talk about the dumbest and stupidest ways people have died.
This is like the psychos that write 2-sentence stories. These are the guys that end up on Dumb Ways to Die.
Yeah. So this first one, this guy was just sleeping in his house, sleeping in his bed. He lived on a farm. He
As
owned a
one does.
Yeah. He owned a bunch of animals.
Yep.
One night, something fell through the ceiling and killed him. Now, what that one thing was one of his cows.
Fell through the ceiling.
Fell through the roof and through the ceiling
Of his house.
and killed him. Now, how this all went down, okay, he lived next to a hill.
Okay.
Now, the cow reportedly went up the hill and climbed on top of the house. Now, the house
I
could
have
not.
to ask.
Yeah.
Reportedly, how did they even know? They interviewed the cow, or
I don't know. How else would the cow get up there?
okay? So he climbs up this mountain, right?
Yeah.
And he jumps on the roof.
Now, the roof couldn't support the weight.
Right.
Cow fell through and crushed the man sleeping.
Crazy.
So, apparently, this person was wrongly pronounced dead.
Okay.
And she woke up at her own funeral in the coffin.
Okay.
And when she noticed that she was at a funeral in her coffin, she was so in shock that she had a heart attack and died on the spot.
So they thought she was dead.
They thought she was dead because I guess she was in a coma possibly.
And then woke up in the coffin just to be so startled that she died.
Yes.
I wonder how they figured it out.
I have no idea. Like, how does that even happen?
Why
How do you not notice that the person's like in a coma or something? Or how do you notice the person's not dead?
Well, I talked about this instance where like this lady like died
Yeah.
and she woke up at her funeral.
Right.
So it happens.
It happens, but it's just so crazy.
My whole thing is I don't understand is how they figured she had the heart attack. Why didn't they like? Obviously, that means they must have dug her back up and did another autopsy because how else do they know?
No. She wasn't in the ground yet.
Oh, she wasn't on the ground.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. They didn't like bury her or anything.
So they had the coffin above the ground.
Yeah, and she woke up in the coffin.
Started banging on it and stuff.
Well, yeah, she like opened it and she was so shocked.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Then.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one. Apparently, this person was filming a show. Now, they're an actor in the show, and the actor they were playing was supposed to be suffering from a heart attack.
Okay.
Now, what's crazy about it, the person playing this character actually started suffering from a heart attack. So they didn't know that they're either suffering from the heart attack or they were just acting.
That is really scary. It reminds me of, I think it's Isla Fisher, the actress.
Uh-huh.
So in that movie, Now You See Me Too,
Yeah.
it's a magician movie.
Right.
There's a scene where like she gets dropped into like a pool on stage and she's locked to the ground.
Yeah.
And she's stuck in there and she's like panicking because her character is supposed to be panicking, like she's drowning.
Right.
But for some reason, the oxygen wasn't being given to her, so she was actually drowning.
What?
So she's pounding on the glass, and the director's like, "Oh, this is such a good performance. This is really good." And they just to find out that she was actually drowning the whole time.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So she's like actually suffering in there and they're not helping her. But
Right.
they just think she's acting.
Because her character in the scene was supposed to be struggling.
What?
Yeah. So that's why like those scenes wherever the actors are in distress, like I guess I don't know how you like prepare them to be like, hey, if something goes wrong, like do this gesture or something, you know?
Like, give me a sign.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's scary. Okay, so apparently these people were going geocache hunting.
Okay.
You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
They like you have like certain clues and you go look for these like little items around where your city is or something.
Right.
So what they did was they were going around looking for this and they decided to go in a waterworks tunnel.
A waterworks tunnel.
Because they felt like that was going to be where the geocache was.
Okay.
Now, it's really dangerous to go in those because
I don't even know
water
what that
just
is.
like runs through that like all the time.
What is it?
I don't know. I guess it's like a big pipe that they go through, like tunnel, and water just blows through.
Okay.
And what happened was there was like 4 of them. 4 of them went in the tunnel.
Okay.
Water bursted through the tunnel while they were looking for the geocache because they thought it was in there, but it wasn't. And the water took 2 of them out, but 2 of them were able to get away. So one of them still isn't found.
What?
Yeah. So 1 died.
Okay.
The other one still isn't found.
But 2 got away.
2 got away.
Wow, how scary. I wonder where that one that they couldn't find is.
Yeah, we don't know. Okay, so this one is absolutely insane. All of them are absolutely insane. But this one's crazy. Okay, so this guy went to a movie theater. All right, guys, we interrupt this podcast to thank our sponsor, Fitbod.
The best way to get fit.
I know for multiple years, me and Ryan have tried to do fitness plans, New Year's resolutions to get on a fitness plan, and every year we have failed. But now, this year has been the year of change.
We are back and we're ready and we are going to conquer this year.
And that's thanks to Fitbod. So the Fitbod app actually creates individual workouts for me and individual workouts for Ryan, and it's all personalized to us.
And what's great about Fitbod is it changes your workout so you don't get bored of doing the same thing over and over again. And it actually works out different muscles so your full body health improves.
Exactly. And I know before I said my goals were to increase my strength and my endurance, and I actually feel like I'm doing that. I'm reaching my goals every day. And it's such an easy app to do. And like Ryan said, it changes your workouts. Like the algorithm is so smart that it'll change your workouts every workout so you don't get that workout burnout. And creating a routine with the Fitbod app honestly could not be easier. All you have to do is put in your goals, put in your experience, and it'll make a workout plan for you. And I know a lot of us, including myself, struggle with the accountability of having to do that workout every day. But since it changes the workouts, I actually want to do it because it's something new every day. So join Fitbod today and start building your routine of the year, or get 25% off your subscription, or try the app for free going to fitbod.me/nobodies. That's fitbod.me/nobodies. Let's get back to the podcast. Right, and he dropped something under his seat. Now, this movie theater had those seats where you have like the footrest, right?
Okay.
Now, when he was looking for what fell under his seat, his head got stuck in between the seat and the footrest.
Okay.
And they couldn't get him out.
You know what's crazy? That show 911. It's like a spin-off of Grey's Anatomy. There's like a montage of like them like rescuing people, and one of them is like a guy at a movie theater that gets stuck underneath the theater chair.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy was stuck.
Okay.
And he suffered cardiac arrest because he was stuck for so long, and he was like kind of panicking, and he went into cardiac arrest and died.
Oh, I wonder how you're supposed to handle that. Like, are you supposed to just cut the legs off the chair and try to lift the chair?
I don't know.
It seems like it's not like a hard fix.
It doesn't seem like it's a hard fix, no.
Like, there should be some way to just like member the chair.
Yeah, there's gotta be, because I feel like that could happen to anyone. It could happen to kids if they like drop something and they're trying to like reach down there.
Yeah.
A kid could get stuck, so they have
Right.
to have like something that could dismantle the chair.
I hope after that happened,
Yeah.
the movie theater like thought of like, we better think of a way if this happens again, how we remove the chair.
Yeah. I don't know if they did or not.
That's weird.
Yeah. Kind of scary.
Well, it's just unfortunate that you would think you would have some kind of like course of action for some, like, because people go underneath there all the time to look, like you drop your phone or something, you're like, oh, I better go look underneath there.
Right.
It is weird to think about though getting stuck. I wonder like how he got stuck, if it was like, because you would think you would just be able to like pull yourself out.
Like come out the way you came in.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching Dumb Ways to Die. Oh, some big news. Twitter. Okay. They're actually making a Ninja Turtles game. Video game.
Oh, okay. So Twitter, you saw this on Twitter.
I saw this on Twitter.
Got it.
They're making a Ninja Turtles video game. Now this game is going to be based on The Last Ronin.
Oh.
That story you said,
yeah.
right? About one turtle outliving all the brothers.
Is it going to be rated M?
I don't know. It's going to be based, I think they said it's going to be like a God of War type of game.
Wow. Okay. So we know that it's going to take place in the future.
Yeah.
And there'll be one brother, which will be Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Shoot.
Well, maybe they change it. I don't know.
Maybe you get to pick which brother stays alive.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
And you kind of see like the different stories play out.
To be fair, though, I think it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, the whole premise is like they all live within the one brother. So,
But I mean, the story you said, like the way that they picked Michelangelo, right? That's just such like a heartbreaker.
yeah, because for the most part, right, Michelangelo's very like silly and doesn't take life very seriously,
Yeah.
and he's forced to be like a mix between Leonardo and Raphael,
Right.
and I guess Donatello.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, all three of those guys are pretty serious. Besides
Yeah.
Michelangelo,
I wonder, yeah, like how gory the game is gonna be.
I think it'd be a good opportunity for them to kind of go more rated M
Yeah.
and just really make it gruesome.
I think so too. That would be such a good game. Make it like the old like Wolverine game
Yeah.
and just go all out.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like if they can pull it off and really stick to when you stab someone, it's just a bloodbath. That would be amazing.
Yeah. And I think I talked about this before, but Five Nights at Freddy's is going live action.
No, I know. And I think what's his name? Matthew Lillard, the guy who plays Shaggy in Scooby Doo. He's gonna be like one of the main characters, and then Josh Hutcherson from the Hunger Games. You know who that
Oh,
is?
yeah.
PETA.
Uh-huh.
He's gonna be one of the main characters in Five Nights at Freddy's too. I think he's the main character.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm like excited, but I'm also really scared for that movie.
I never really played the game,
Yeah.
but it seems like, I mean, I've seen gameplay. It's just weird. It's a weird way to describe horror. Like, it's
Right.
more of like the jump scare thing, but you're not really scared of the character.
It's like the anticipation of being in that room and you have to check everything, right?
It reminds me of Hello Neighbor.
Yeah.
Hello, Neighbor. The guy's like not scary, but for some reason, when you hear him, like, you know, the footprints like coming near you, like really fast, that's really scary.
Yeah. We're seeing like these video games come into live action. Like we just got Last of Us, right?
Right.
Last of Us absolutely blew everything out of the water.
Yeah.
So I hope that Five Nights at Freddy's could do the same.
I think it will. Is it Blumhouse? Blumhouse is doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Blumhouse, they're pretty solid.
Yeah.
They're going to produce something very true to the source material, but also for like people that don't know the series at all, they're going to make it like really enjoyable for like a new audience.
Right. Because what's super interesting, a lot of people don't know that there's a big backstory behind Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I was really shocked too. Like, I didn't realize how many games there were. There's a lot of games.
There's a lot, yeah.
For this, you know, for a while, I just thought, oh, Five Nights at Freddy's was just one game.
Right. Because it started, I don't know what year it started. It was quite a while ago.
Yeah, we were still in, I don't say elementary school. We were at least in middle school.
Yeah.
It was pretty big back then too.
It broke the internet.
Yeah. What system was it on originally? Was it a computer game? Was it an Xbox?
I'm pretty sure it was a computer game.
Okay. Is it still a computer game or is it a
I'm pretty sure it's
console
still
game?
Or you know what? It might have moved to console too.
Okay. We should play it.
Comment if you guys want us to do a Five Nights at Freddy's gameplay.
Oh gosh.
Ryan's gonna hate that.
I hate scary things. Oh, I hate scary things. But yeah, comment if you guys want us to do it. I guess Five Nights at Freddy's is like probably a good one to start because I think it's like T. Isn't that rated M? Is it?
I don't think so.
So yeah, I'll start out with a 13-year-old game. 13-year-olds allowed, and we'll move on from there.
Yeah. I saw this other thing on Twitter. I guess somewhere in China, it was raining worms.
Wait, so it was raining regular at first, and then worms started falling?
Worms were falling with the rain.
Okay, okay, that is weird.
Yeah.
But I do feel that we've discussed this before. Like, sometimes doesn't this happen where like things get pulled out of the ocean?
Yeah. When I talked about fish rain.
Exactly, fish rain. That's
Yeah.
what I thought we talked about.
So yeah, so people were like instructed to stay inside because it was raining like these slimy worm things. Now, nobody's sure if they were actually worms or if they were actually like these seeds that come up from plants and they get pulled off the plant and it's like a little slimy rod.
Uh-huh.
But it looks gnarly. It looks crazy. Like all these cars look like they're covered in worms.
Oh, that is so disgusting.
Yeah, and you can see like people like trying to like walk and there's just everything on the ground like it's worms.
That's like a horror movie.
Yeah. It looks crazy.
So these worms, how many were there?
Oh, hundreds. It wasn't like a few just were found. Okay, these cars are covered.
That's really weird. How
Yeah.
does all the worms get sucked up? How does every single worm? When you think about the land, right? You
Yeah.
got all this land, and you're telling me there's enough worms to cover these cars, and like where were they, just in like a bucket somewhere, and then they picked them up or
They
something?
took a whole fisherman's bucket.
No, it doesn't make sense though.
No, it
Where are they
doesn't.
pulling it from?
It doesn't, yeah. That's why people think it's like the flower seeds. But it was still a lot.
Flower seeds.
Like it was like those like flower things, the seeds I was just telling you about. Like
Oh, okay.
they
Yeah.
have like the slimy rod looking thing.
Right.
So people were thinking it's those because it's just such an unreal amount of worms.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looked just crazy.
Oh my gosh, that like makes my stomach hurt. Actually. Oh my gosh. Comment if you guys would be more scared to see fish falling from the rain or worms flying from the rain.
Gosh, I have to say worms for
Yeah,
me.
Worms are really
If I
disgusting.
started feeling worms falling on top of my head and I didn't know where it was coming from, I'm freaking out.
Yeah. Forget that. I'm good. Nah.
I would be really freaked out though if fish started slapping me in the head.
Yeah.
Cause like, how are fish falling from the sky?
I know. That's so weird. Oh my gosh. What a world we live in.
But I guess it's like a really natural occurrence. Like frogs and stuff like all get like sucked up with the wind somehow and they come down with the rain.
But my whole thing is like, I don't understand how one insect or one animal, how does it just be one thing get sucked up.
That's a
All
good point.
one thing.
Yeah.
Like I could see you throwing like, you know, a couple random other things in there. Like
Right. So if it was like worms, frog, and fish.
Right.
But now that it's just worms, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, why is it just one thing? It doesn't make sense. All right, guys, this next part of the podcast is called Whose Side Are You On? Where Leia comes on and talks about a real life story, and we have to figure out who's right and who's wrong. There's always two sides to every story, but there's only one truth. So here comes Leia.
That was a good one. Oh, yeah, Leia.
Okay, Leia, whose side are you on?
All right, whose side are you on? Would the writer be wrong or right? Trying to figure out if I should message the girlfriend of the guy I have been in a long-term relationship with for over a year. Advice wanted and needed.
Yikes.
As stated in the title, I found out the guy I have been in a long-distance relationship with for over a year has been in a relationship, and they just celebrated their 3rd anniversary. Backstory. He has slid into my DMs February 2022, and quickly we decided to move it out of the DMs and get to know each other a lot better when I gave him my phone number, and we started messaging through WhatsApp. He said he was single, and his last serious relationship was a few years before. It was going perfectly, and we both had so many of the same interests such as sports, shopping, a lot of travel, political views, and even our birthdays are close together. It had felt like I had found my other half, and I was so happy. Everything was going so well until Easter, when he was very distant, and my messages would send, but he barely responded. It was such a 180 that it sent him a message asking if I had done something wrong. He later responded that at his beach house, the cell reception was terrible, and that's why he couldn't respond frequently. I now know that he was in Hawaii with his girlfriend and wasn't able to respond frequently because of that. But after that hiccup, he was very attentive and we messaged all throughout the day, and when I suggested we should meet up, he was all for it. I had suggested we meet somewhere in the middle since we are a 20-plus hour travel day apart, but he always manages to sidestep any concrete plans. I then decided I would go and see him, and he seemed enthusiastic about it, telling me all about what we would do, and I was planning to go in the fall until I had a family emergency. He was very understanding and so supportive through the whole very difficult time. I felt like I had found the perfect guy. He's funny, we have similar life goals, and we even spoke about having children in the near future.
Not the children.
We FaceTime weekly and talk through message from the moment he wakes up to the time I go to sleep, but he never asked to follow me on any of my main social media pages. He tells me that he loves me daily and how lucky he is to have found me. He knows my full name and could easily search me, but always maintained that he doesn't really use any social media platforms. I have not confronted him about this, and in fact, I've been calm, cool, and calculated enough that I'm still talking to him, not to raise his radar that I know something. But if I was in the girlfriend situation, I would want to know. So here I am asking for advice on what's the best way to navigate and let her know that her boyfriend of 3 years is having an emotional affair for at least the past year. After looking at everything he follows and comments on his Reddit, I suspect I may not be the only one. Would I be wrong to tell his girlfriend? Whose side are you on?
Oh, gosh.
Messy.
I mean,
You should talk to the guy, because you haven't...
Talk to the guy?
Yeah, you haven't, confronted him about it. So first do that.
I think you should do this. You should plan a dinner with him to confront him, right? But also have his girlfriend come to the dinner also.
Ooh.
And then you guys both, you
like the other woman.
You
That
kill
movie
two
that was
birds
good.
with one stone, right? You confront him, you make him look like a fool, and you get to have closure with the girlfriend.
Yeah, and maybe you guys will be best friends.
Yeah.
It happens. The Other Woman movie, it happens.
That is true.
So, I don't know. I think you should do it.
Yeah, screw it. We usually always try to say do the right thing and have there be peace, but in this case, screw it.
Well, I think it's the right thing, because
Yeah.
you're trying to be faithful.
Yeah, but also...
Now.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? That is the right thing. Ruin that relationship because the girlfriend could do better, and she needs to know the truth.
Period.
And, that's the only way to ensure that the relationship gets finished, right? Because if you just confront him, he can
Closure.
go lie to the girlfriend,
Get closure.
get closure, and ruin him.
All right, whose side are you on?
All right, guys, we interrupt this podcast because this podcast is sponsored by HelloFresh.
The #1 meal kit in America.
With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh produce sent to your front door, and it's already pre-portioned just to the perfect size just for you.
They honestly make it so easy for you.
So skip using the grocery store and start using HelloFresh for the ingredients to be sent to your front door. The easiest, the funnest, the most enjoyable way to cook, and that's why HelloFresh is the #1 meal kit in America.
And it's affordable.
Make mealtime easy with delicious recipes made with fresh, wholesome ingredients delivered to your front door. No lines, no hassles, just great tasting meals you can whip up and enjoy in the comfort of your home. With the cost of groceries going way up and up, this is the perfect time to use HelloFresh. HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery store shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout. HelloFresh knows you're busy. That's why they take care of the meal planning and prepping, freeing up extra time in your schedule. With pre-portioned ingredients, foolproof recipes, and convenient doorstep delivery, HelloFresh makes it easy to get dinner on the table.
And when they say foolproof, it's foolproof because me and Ryan cannot cook.
We suck at cooking. HelloFresh makes us feel like we're Remy from Ratatouille, and we are on that. You know what I mean? We are cooking. It tastes so good. If you ever have like friends coming over and you want to like cook, we actually did this the other day.
Yeah.
We had some friends come over. We cooked. Super good. Everyone was like, did you really cook this?
It made us look really good.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, we did. So go to HelloFresh.com/nobody60 and use code nobody60 for 60% off plus free shipping. That's go to HelloFresh.com/nobody60 and use code nobody60 for 60% off plus free shipping, because HelloFresh is the #1 meal kit in America. So let's get back to the podcast.
Is the writer wrong or right? I pretended to have a vasectomy 2 years later, and my wife is pregnant.
Whoa.
Hello, Reddit. I'm going through a horrible dilemma, and I'm so deep in, I have no idea what to do. My wife and I have been married for 9 years, and we have 2 kids together, and we aren't planning on having any more. Well, my wife is set on that idea, but I wanted to have at least 5 kids, and she only wanted to have 1 or none. This doesn't take away from the fact that she's a great mother, it's just her preference. Going into the marriage, we sort of compromised to have maybe 2 or 3 kids. I am set on having 3, but she didn't want any more. It's been 5 years since having the first 2, and around 2 years ago, she wanted me to get a vasectomy. I wasn't comfortable with it and refused, but it became the center of our arguments. We dated for 5 years before getting married, so we've been together for a total of 12 years when this occurred now. We've been total for 14 years. These were such love times, and I didn't want to end our relationship over this, especially since we have kids together. So I agreed to do the vasectomy after months of arguing. Fast forward to now, my wife is pregnant. She doesn't know how this could have happened, but I do. I never got the vasectomy.
Not tea.
2 years ago, I pretended that I got it, and I told her someone else took me to the appointment, and I took a week off of work so I could recover from it. I tried to be precautious, but it didn't work. And now my wife is furious as I told her that the vasectomy could have failed rather than telling her the truth. She is also scheduling appointments with lawyers so she can sue the practice in which I received the surgery.
Oh.
Whew, this is big. However, if they have the records, it will prove that I never got it. What should I do now? I'm worried that if I tell her the truth, she will leave me. I don't want to lose her. She's the love of my life, and I don't know what I can do without her. I know this is my fault, but please help me on how I should go about this. Am I wrong? Whose side are you on?
Bro,
yes, you're wrong.
You're wrong. Okay, let's just get this out of the way, okay? You tell her now, right? You just come clean. Yeah, she could leave you, right?
Yeah.
You run that risk.
Yeah.
Or you don't tell her. You get into a legal battle. You have to pay all these lawyer fees. And it's going to get really messy. You're going to be spending all this money on lawyers. And then you're going to have her leave you, even a higher chance of her leaving you.
Yep, you're digging yourself in a deeper hole, man.
So you might as well just have some dignity, save some money, and tell her the truth.
Yep, I agree completely. You're wrong, dude.
Yeah. Just avoid the lawyers. I just feel like that's going to get so messy.
Ooh, yeah.
There's
sure.
no point.
He even knows it, too.
Just
he
be
said,
like...
He said, I'm not on the records.
Just be like, look. Just tell her, like, you know, I really wanted to have a kid. and I thought, I don't know.
Gosh, what a thing to, like, lie about.
Yeah, I know.
Whew. All right.
Thank you, Leia. All right, guys. That was quite an interesting whose side are you on. What do you think the guy should do? Should he tell the wife, or wait till the wife?
I agree with you guys. I think you guys said what needed to be said.
Yeah. He needs to just tell her now before he gets all these lawyers involved. Oh my gosh. You're going to get a divorce for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, guys. If you made it this far in the podcast, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. And if you're returning as a returning viewer and you notice that the subscribe button hasn't been clicked, punch it. Punch it hard.
Yeah, punch it right
Like,
through your
punch-
screen.
Punch that
Okay,
like button too.
okay.
Punch it hard.
Sheesh. Okay.
Sheesh. Click it as hard as you can. Screen record, clicking it and tag it, and it will repost it on Instagram. Also, comment what you guys want us to talk about next week. As you guys saw throughout this video, we took you guys' suggestions from last week and we talked about it. So We'll see you guys tomorrow on TikTok, and we'll see you guys next week Saturday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.
We'll see you on the TikTok.
Also, comment some creators you would love to have on the podcast. We'd love to see who you'd like us to talk to.
That's a good suggestion.
So comment that too. All right, guys. God bless you guys. See ya.
Love ya.